Alright, I'm back. So I just finished this page and we're on to this one. I used fibers quite a bit like I was talking about. It just, again, adds a lot of interest to a page. It actually adds interest to the book in general. I just love having all these flappy things coming out of the book. I think that's pretty. So, more journaling, stamps, another date, washi tape. I love to use washi tape. I love washi tape. My husband made me go to the spa because I was completely stressed out with having a 19-month-old with me, and that was very, very nice. They told me the date and where I was supposed to go, so I saved that piece of paper, journaled underneath. This is more of that Tim Holtz template. Stencil. Let me get that real quick. If I can find it. Yes. So this is the template from Tim Holtz, and I just take this with me everywhere. I love this stencil. It's a great stencil. Use all the arrows. Alright. Again, there's more methods for holding. I used that twice on this page, and journaling underneath. My husband's a terrific photographer, and so I'm lucky to be able to utilize his photography skills. Beautiful picture of our baby. I think this is kind of just repeats. I actually didn't like this page at all. This didn't match with my theme, but it took a lot of work, and once you invest in something, you have a tendency to leave it, so I did. Still not my favorite, but anyway, there it is. I think that page is so pretty. So these matching with this, and then the underneath to add interest. I wish I could stay here forever. Yes, I do. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. That's always flaps and underneath journaling. These would have come again from this book, which I was so glad I brought. Added a lot of unity to the book. Daddy's Girl. This was kind of cute. She knew what it meant. The room was kind of dark and dingy, actually, so she loved being outside. So we weren't ready yet, and she crawled into her crib and looked, or into her stroller, looked at me like, "Okay, Mom, let's go. Time to go." I said, "No, not quite ready," but it didn't take long after that, because once she was ready to go, it was time to go. This, I would have cut out the heart on my Cuttlebug, and then I must have taken the imprint and then cut out around that, and I think that turned out so well. I love that. I think I used that twice, 2 or 3 times in here. Again, another technique for adding interest to the page. I would have had these remnants of paper with me, and I just cut them out and then glued them down so the page isn't plain. This would have been, I went snorkeling, and I always like to pick up something out of the water while I'm snorkeling, and so that would have been a piece of grass. I made that envelope for it. Tried it, and whoop, that's alright, it's too long anyways, and then saved it right there. I'm actually trying to use a different technique for that on my next trip. I use, let me see if I can find them very quickly. Where would it be? Oh yes, they're there. So I just used plastic sheets, and not that one. That was not a good example at all. I'll have to fix that one. Sorry, it's taking a little bit of time. There they are. So you just make on a little, so this is only open on one end. Oop, if I can. Sorry, might not be able to see that very well. So I'll put whatever in there, little pieces like that, or sand from the beach. And then I'll close it up with washi tape, and probably put washi tape all the way around, and then that will be placed in the book. I think that's a super neat idea. And that one I'm going to have to fix. But that's for my next trip. Always good to be watching YouTube. You find out all kinds of new neat techniques to use. Another flap. Oh, this is kind of a neat page. This is my table where I scrapped there in the hotel room. So you can see this book. I'll have stamps there, glue sticks, scissors. There's my ink pads. There's that memorabilia book I keep showing you. There's scraps of paper. There's one of my postcards, tape. So very messy, but this is part of my enjoyment on a trip is scrapping. So luckily my 19-month-old never messed with that table. I don't know why, but she just wasn't interested. So I was able to leave that and use it at will. This is a terrible flap. I got a t-shirt and saved the tag. I did it as a fold out and then tried to put receipts in there. Not working well. Not a good. Doesn't hold it well. It's too loose. Two flaps here you can see. Oh, they're not. But flaps are great for adding memorabilia in. So you'll have plenty of space. The only bad thing is that it makes the book thicker. So if you don't like that, don't do that. I always add my favorite moments at the end. That's my husband and I drinking a pina colada. And then I actually had each one of my family members do their own little book. Or do their, I'm sorry, not book, but like I would go through and say, this is for my daughter, so I guessed on hers because she can't talk yet. That would have been my brother. I'd asked him things like, where's your favorite place to eat? What was your favorite day? Favorite thing to do? And I do that for each one of the adults that go on the trip and my children. And then I have their memories as well, which is really neat. And then I have them sign it at the end, even though I asked them the questions. And I use this picture as a, they don't call this a flap, they call it a tuck spot. And then just put some extra memorabilia behind there. So that would have been the end of the book. I hope you enjoyed that and that you could see it all. Any questions or comments, you can leave below and I will make sure I try to answer them. Thank you.